Hey, yeah, welcome back to the Cross TV with your boy, The Cross. You already know. Let's take this bop as now they're crying for mercy. Yeah, after being found guilty, now the lawyers are asking for their clients to be spared. That ain't gonna happen.
Members of the jury, I first want to thank you for your attention and your thoughtful, thorough consideration in the case so far. We all understand the significance of what you have done and what we're asking you to do. I ask that you continue to listen intently and give this second phase of the trial the same attention that you did the first. We saw you taking notes, listening. I know it's been a long several weeks. Nothing in this phase is intended to diminish the seriousness of the charge or what happened in this case. The pain caused, the value of the life lost. Mitigation and mitigating factors are not an excuse. They're an explanation. They tell a story.
Oh, yeah.
This is the part of the trial
It told a story.
about Sean Gathright. About the person. And this is not about asking if Mr. Gathright is guilty or not guilty. You have already found that with your verdict.
Guilty.
And we respect your verdict. This phase asks a different question. And it's not even whether or not Mr. Gathright should be held accountable. He will be. The question now is, should this very young man be permanently sentenced to death? Or does he have a life worth saving? During this phase, you're going to hear about who Mr. Gathright was before the events that you've heard about in this trial. You're going to hear about a childhood that was marked with some instability due to being in a military family, repeated separations from his parents.
Instability, military?
Abuse by his father, loss, absence of steady guidance during some of his most formative years. You're going to hear that Mr. Gathright was barely 18 years old at the time of this crime, youngest, at an age where society, common sense, and the law itself recognized that judgment, impulse control, and decision-making are still developing. He's still maturing. As he sits here today, he's only 20 years old. The evidence is going to show you that Sean Gathright is not a man beyond hope or beyond redemption, but a very young human being, still capable of growth, maturity, accountability, remorse, and change. You're going to hear some other really important things, and you're going to hear from people that know him best. You're going to hear from several of Mr. Gathright's family, friend, guidance counselor, and they're going to tell you about a loving,
She said friend,
nonviolent young man that they knew.
Cook.
A smart student, a good student, who loved his family, was a good uncle, helped others, did mission trips, fed the homeless.
Yeah, he did a mission
hard,
trip.
Built a business, and showed great potential for a meaningful future. You're also going to hear from an expert who's going to tell you that even in prison, Mr. Gathright can live a constructive life where he can continue to mature and positively affect others, including his family and friends who he maintains a relationship with, but also other inmates. And he can be held accountable without ending his life. At the end of this phase, I will get back up here and I'm going to ask you to consider all of the circumstances that will be presented in that evidence. And I'll give you a long list of things that I think have been shown at that time. I'm going to ask you to not define Mr. Gathright solely by the worst thing that he's done at 18 years old, but to recognize that he still has meaning. His life still has value. Death is never required.
All right, why don't you tell that to 6? She can say whatever she want. It's over. Got to pay the piper. Rest up, Foolio. Until next time, I'm out.